take a moment to look at these two books. You may notice something on them, something that is similar about both of them. It is these circles. So you can see it on this book, and you can see it on this book behind the lettering. These concentric circles. And these books are actually, this is the Dutch version of my book. So if you're Dutch, you can get it. These circles are here on this book, and these circles are behind the text. And I wish this was my idea. The team behind the Hachette team actually thought of putting the circles behind here. And the publisher, the Dutch publisher, put the circles here. It actually wasn't my idea. But what's so important about these circles? What do they have to do with Stoicism? Why am I doing a full Stoic School lesson on these circles on my book? And if you've been following Stoicism, you're probably very curious, wondering, how have I not heard about these circles? What's so important about these circles? These are the circles of Hierocles, the circles of concern. And this is a concept that is so fundamental to Stoicism, and might surprise you actually. You know, when people first get into Stoicism, they think it's about being an alpha, being this strong island. All these mistaken thoughts about Stoicism. This lesson will clear these up, and this lesson might blow some of your minds actually. It might make you think, I didn't know this about Stoicism, but this is core to Stoicism. So, welcome back to day 11 of 100 Stoic School. We made it to day 11, and I can feel some of you feeling more stoic. I'm getting messages, getting comments about Stoicism from some of you. It's amazing. I'd love to know how Stoicism is changing your life. Please leave a comment on how Stoicism is changing your life. I'd love to say, because I'm getting messages saying it's changing your life. I've actually had messages in the past saying it saved some people's lives. So I'd love to see that. Leave a comment. Welcome back to day 11, Stoic School. Stoicism has been described as the guide to the good life. And with Stoic School, I will take you through that guide so you understand fully what Stoicism is, what the philosophy is, and how to incorporate it, most importantly, how to incorporate Stoicism into your life like I did. Over a decade ago, I was lost. I was scared. I was shy. I was anxious. I was sad. I felt like the world was against me. And then I found Stoicism and I was wrong. I feel great. I feel confident. I feel balanced. I feel amazing. And of course I have bad days still, just as much, but Stoicism's just there for me now. The bad days don't really feel bad. The bad days are good. It's strange. I don't really know how it, the old me would look at the new me and go, how does your brain work? It's just Stoicism. And that's all it is. Today's episode is powered by Huel. Let's jump into the episode. So, the circles of Hierocles, or the circles of concern. I'll open up with a quote from Hierocles from his fragments on how we ought to conduct ourselves towards our kindred. Each of us is, as it were, circumscribed by many circles, some of which are less, but others larger, and some include, but others are comprehended, included, according to the different and unequal habitudes which with respect to each other. For the first, indeed, and most proximate circle is that which everyone describes about his own mind as a centre, in which circle the body, and whatever is assumed for the sake of the body are comprehended. For this is nearly the smallest circle, and almost touches the centre itself. The second from this, and which is at a greater distance from the centre, but comprehends the first circle, is that in which parents, brothers, wife, and children are arranged. The third circle from the centre is that which contains uncles, aunts, grandfathers and grandmothers, and the children of brothers and sisters. After this is the circle which comprehends the remaining relatives. Next to this is that which contains the common people. Then that which comprehends those of the same tribe. Afterwards, that which contains the citizens. And then 2 other circles follow. One being the circle of those that dwell in the vicinity of the city, and the other of those of the same province. But the outermost and greatest circle, and which comprehends all other circles, is that of the whole human race. These things being thus considered, it is the province of him who strives to conduct himself properly in each of these connections to collect, in a certain respect, the circles, as it were, to one centre, and always to endeavour earnestly to transfer himself from the comprehending circles to the several particulars which they comprehend. It pertains, therefore, to the man who is a lover of kindred to conduct himself in a becoming manner towards his parents and brothers, also according to the same analogy towards the more elderly of his relatives of both sexes, such as grandfathers, uncles and aunts, towards those of the same age with himself as his cousins, and towards his juniors as the children of his cousins. That probably sounds very confusing, but I'll clear it up. But that is important to understand, because the circles of concern, or the circles of Hierocles, named after Hierocles, I think it's only fitting to read the quote that sums up the circles from him. But it's a little bit confusing, so I'll explain it more. So, the Stoics inherited the principles of cosmopolitanism from Socrates. Cosmopolitanism in political theory, the belief that all people are entitled to equal respect and consideration, no matter what their citizenship, status, or other affiliations happen to be. So, the 2nd century Stoic, Hierocles, summarized this principle by imagining concentric circles. The first circle is the human mind, the self. The second circle is immediate family, followed by extended family, and then the local community, and so on and so on. And the goal is to bring the circles of concern closer to our concern, to the center. It is about becoming concerned with these things like we are naturally concerned with ourselves. So you have the circles of concern. The self is our natural concern. We are concerned with ourselves. We care about ourselves, our welfare, our health, our well-being, whether we're fed, whether we're well slept, whether we're sheltered, whether we're happy. This is our concern. And then you have the outer concern to your brothers and sisters, and so on, all the way to the whole of mankind. And the goal is to start bringing these circles to your natural concern. So the circles can go from your concern of yourself to now you have that same concern for your brothers and sisters and your mother and your father. And then it goes out to aunties and uncles, to grandparents, and out to your local community. And you build this concern so that you care about these things as if you care about yourself. And Marcus Aurelius actually writes in his Meditations, and this is my understanding of what he wrote, is that he thought, first and foremost, of strangers, the people of his empire, the people that lived around him. He's seen these as a brother or sister. That was his concern to them. But then in other writings, I get the understanding that he's seen these people, and he saw these people as an extension of himself. So he saw these random strangers as he sees himself. His concern for them was the way he's concerned for himself. He cared for them in this manner. And I feel like that's why Marcus Aurelius was seen as such a good leader, as such a caring leader. The things he did really highlight this. You know, giving up his own riches to help feed people, being the way he was, not being dressed in these fancy clothes, not being such a greedy leader, an overbearing and selfish leader. He was such a caring leader. A quick word from our sponsor, Huel. I really like Huel. When I was writing my book, I was using Huel to power me through every single day. When I had my daily greens, when I had my meals, when I had my shakes, it stopped me from going to the shop, buying a load of rubbish, buying a load of unhealthy food, wasting loads of money. And these things do add up. Those quick journeys to the shop every day, the money adds up, the unhealthy foods add up, the wasted time adds up. So if I ever get those cravings, I grab a Huel and it fills my cravings. I feel good, it tastes delicious, it's quick and easy. And if you have any interest in the Huel products, then check the link in the description. Let's get back to the episode. Modern day thinkers have actually suggested that we can expand these circles. People believe that we can expand them to animals. So an outer circle from all of mankind can actually be animals, and then nature. And this is like, people do things to help nature. People plant trees, people care about the environment, people recycle, people develop certain diets to cater for animals. And this is an expansion of the circles of concern. So an exercise you can try. Give your concerns to each circle. So if you want to step outside the concern of yourself, stop being selfish for a moment, concern to your brothers or sisters. Concern yourself for them. Think about them. Really think, what do they need? Are they struggling? Do they need help? What can I do for them? And do something, anything, just a little thing. And then you go to the next circle. And the goal is to reach every single circle in this exercise. So the next circle, your distant relatives. You think, what could I do for my grandfather or my grandmother if they're still alive? What could I do for my auntie or uncle? Maybe I could send them a letter, updating them on the family, or telling them of some news, or sending them pictures of their grandchild or the great-grandchild, or sending some nice story. It could be anything, but really think on this, and then go to the next circle, and to the next circle, and to the next circle, and eventually you get to mankind. Think, how can I do something good for mankind? Really think on this idea. How can you do something good? How can you be concerned for mankind? And then if you want to take it to the next step, when we're thinking about these modern day thinkers that suggest for welfare, and you want to give your concern to the fish, the chickens, the birds, the horses, the cows. You want to give your concern to this. Think, what can I do for these? What could I do? You could try a plant-based diet for a week, a day, or reduce your intake of animal products for a week or a month. You could do, people do veganuary. And it's not about becoming a vegan or a plant-based eater. It's about expanding your circle of concern. What this does is, you think, if you really get concerned with the welfare of a fish, and you think, oh man, you really start to think about it. If you can be concerned with the welfare of a fish, then in your day-to-day life with the people walking around you, your concern is built up for them as well, because you can be concerned for a fish. It's easier to be concerned for people much more like us. It's easier to resonate with people that are things like us, similarities, tribalism. And then you can think about the welfare and concern for nature itself. You can do something to help nature. Actually be concerned. Think of planet Earth is dying. I was thinking of the Ozzy Osbourne song, Dreamer, is wondering if Mother Earth will survive. Ozzy Osbourne had his concern for Mother Nature. But if you can just expand this concern, it really helps build empathy, helps you make you a better person. I truly believe that. And that's something I do. So in terms of nature, the whole nature, I try to concern myself. Firstly, I build up the things. For close people, I always think, how can I help people close to me? I want to do something nice for them. I'm concerned what's the problem they're dealing with. And then distance, I try to send a nice message every so often, or a phone call. And then you go further, I try to be concerned for friends. I try to check in on them. And then you go further and further with strangers in the world. I try to reach out with these Stoic messages. I try to send nice messages or reply to everyone. I always offer my guidance, my Stoic guidance. And then animals, something I never share because I don't know why I need to share it, but I've been plant-based for like a decade now, so I don't eat animal products. And that just comes from trying to be concerned with the welfare of nature more than anything. Trying to do something here. I don't know, and it's easy anyway. And then to the planet, something I do is I'll go on a dog walk every day, and I take my daughter in the harness. I'm doing something for her, I'm doing something for the dog, doing something for myself. And I try to just pick litter along the way. It's a short walk to the park, and then I try to pick litter up on the park. I spend like an hour on the park just picking up litter, playing fetch with the dog, teaching commands. And then I pick litter on the way back. And that's just my little concern. It helps me be a bit more empathetic. It does expand in life. Me thinking about that park, caring for that park, really transfers into life. It makes me more caring for other things, believe it or not. There's also a Buddhist exercise called metta meditation. And it's a similar exercise. You meditate on giving concern and feeling warmth from a loved one. So you meditate on this idea and thinking of this one person, a loved one, and you feel the warmth, feel the concern for them, feel the love for them, really feel it. And you feel it in your heart, how much you love this person, how much you care for this person. It's a nice feeling for you, actually. It makes you feel good. They won't be able to feel this. Some people believe they can, but they might not be able to feel this, but you can feel this love for them, this warmth for them. And then you keep expanding the circles. Your love for your fellow person, and your love for mankind, your love for nature, your love for the animals. However, you don't have to concern yourself with animals. The Stoics didn't, but, some believe they did. But, modern day thinkers believe that if you really want to test yourself, think of how much you love nature and the animals. And just feel it, feel that warmth. And then bring yourself back in to the center. So that is Hierocles' circles of concern. And I'm actually really happy to be doing this lesson because it gives me a chance to talk about these books. I think they look so beautiful, and I'm so happy with the teams, with the artwork they've done. I'm happy to give a bit of understanding, because most people just see these books and go, oh, beautiful books, they're cool. But actually, it highlights, some say, the most important concept of Stoicism. They're all interconnected in this cosmic nature. It's like a cosmic community. Imagine we live in the same little community, all billions of us, all the animals, all the nature, everything. We're in this cosmic community. And if you want to make it a better place, you got to look after it and be concerned for everyone. So thank you for listening to day 11, Stoic School. I hope you're learning a lot about Stoicism. If you have any questions, just comment. And if you're here for day 11 and you've been here since day 1, please comment saying you've been here since day 1 and you're learning and you're excited for day 100. If you want to support me, give me a like, give me a comment, maybe share the video. It does really help. And if you're like, how can I help William? I really want to show my support. I can't show it in any financial way or whatever, monetary way. I'm not really bothered. But you want to show it. Actually, just helping these lessons expand, giving them likes, giving them comments, giving them shares really does help. And giving them ratings on streaming platforms really helps. If you really want to show your gratitude to me, not that you need to, I'm doing this this will literally happen regardless, so you don't have to do anything. You could just turn off the episode right now and see the next one. But if you really want to show your gratitude and you really want to help someone out, a friend, a family member, you want to show your concern, practice this exercise, then share Stoic School with a stranger. Not a stranger, a friend, a family member, or a stranger, whatever. If you really want to help someone out, just share Stoic School with them, get them enrolled in Stoic School. It's free, it's easy, hopefully somewhat entertaining, it keeps you busy on your commute to work or wherever you're doing. Where do you listen to this, actually? I'd like to know. I'm concerned. I'm not concerned. I'm interested. Yeah, share Stoic School with them. Stoicism is the guide to the good life. It changed my life. It's saved people's lives that I know. I've got messages off people saying Stoicism saved their life. And you could do that for someone. You could help someone. You can invite them into Stoicism. And you'll start to see good changes in that person. Anyway, thank you for listening. Bye. Oh, and remember, the link for the Dutch book will be in the description. If you are Dutch or you know any Dutch people, then I really recommend it. of course, because it's my book, but they've done a great translation. They've done great work with this. These things aren't easy. They put a lot of effort. There's teams going into this, and they care. I can tell how much they care. They know a lot about Stoicism. They're really interested in Stoicism. The fact that the circles are concerned, which, I didn't learn about that for years of Stoicism. So the people working on these books know a lot, and they have a lot of care for Stoicism, a lot of interest. I mean, that's why they wanted to translate the book. They believed that it could help people. So have a beautiful day.